Maggie, and I'm a senior, and I love to paint.
My name is Jonathan, and I'm a senior, and I love to sing.
I'm Calvin Opperly, I'm a senior, and I play trombone.
I'm Blake Roloff, I'm a senior, and I love to weld.
Well, okay, so when I was a kid, I went to a Grand Rapids Symphony concert where they let a bunch of kids demo a bunch of instruments, and I got to try a trombone, and that kind of just got me excited. So from, until I was 10 years old, I always knew I wanted to play trombone. So in 5th grade, I got started on the trombone, and it was super exciting. And then throughout the years, I got more and more involved. I started doing community bands. I started taking lessons. I now play in the Grand Rapids Youth Symphony. So it's just kind of a building process of becoming more and more involved and becoming more dedicated, enjoying it more as I got better over the years.
Just pretty much diesel tech class. Last year, I'm still in it, this is my 2nd year. We did a whole month on welding. We did stick, MIG, and TIG. And I picked those all up pretty well within that month. And then my strongest was stick for sure. And I did my final project with stick and I made a cube. So that was pretty cool.
Okay, so I've been making art for a long time. My mom's always said I tend to create something out of nothing. I would take cardboard from a recycling bin and make little things out of it. I made like a little hot dog stand that I had seen on some crafting video on YouTube, and would make little clay creations to go with it. And then kind of as I got older, I started to get into more formal art and loved drawing and painting. For a while in elementary, with our art teacher, Miss Keating, she let me and one of my friends just go in her art room and organize stuff, and we would start creating different things. So I think that kind of gave me my introduction into doing oil pastels or trying watercolor. And then I really found a love for acrylic painting during the pandemic. I did a little challenge. I had already been doing Lent challenges, which I started in middle school. I did a Lent art challenge. So I would try and do a piece of art every day, somehow related to faith or God or how I see Him in the everyday things I do. And based on that, I transitioned into trying to paint different songs I had heard, because one of my friends was doing a song for every day of the first original quarantine, which was about 30 days, so 30 songs, and each day I would try and paint it. And I think through that I really learned how to mix colors and finding God's gift for me in how I could do that and learn different things about how I relate to others and relate to Him.
Kind of history of me singing. I've been doing it ever since. My mom's a music teacher. It's just what we do at our house. That's kind of always been something that we do. There's not been a moment where, I love singing. It's just always been. Yeah. What makes singing happy for me? I don't know. It's the way I express myself. It's the way I kind of joke around. If you know me, I'm always playing a little game of song association. It's just kind of how I have fun. And it is just a clear way of how I feel that I am actively doing something to praise God. So I do believe all life is worship, but it's just something that gives me purpose. Something that I feel this is my offering and this is something I can give.
It's not easy, and it's something you definitely have to work toward and figure out different techniques and skills. And anytime you go at it, a different piece of material or anything, it's all different. You have to change the settings and just play with it, and then you get to see the final outcome, those beautiful beads that you laid. Or I was saying, I'm a welder, not a grinder, so you don't want to have all the crap where you have to grind it off and
So I've loved getting to paint and draw and do different things. I think my ideal day and ideal pastime is just sitting out in the sun in my yard and painting whatever I'm looking at. And I've loved seeing how God's been able to use me to be able to show the way I see the world to others. And it really offers a different perspective that I think can help us empathize with others. And it just brings people so much joy to see something you created and see oh, I thought this was like a picture and it's actually a painting, like that kind of joy is so real.
There's a lot of things I could say about that, but I think there's something really special about music because it inherently is connected to a community. Whether you're singing in a choir, you're playing in a band or an orchestra, there's sort of this collective spirit of you have your own part, but it's kind of nothing without everyone else. And I think that's really beautiful. I also think there's a lot of value in just creating something of beauty. I think it reflects God's creativity, and there's obviously a lot of expression and meaning and things that can be pulled out of just creating a beautiful sound, telling a story with music.
So lots of people will say, like when they see a drawing or like a painting, they'll be like, oh, I wish I could do that. And they're like, oh, that must be so easy. But there is a lot of work that goes into it. I think there's like a natural way of like, oh, I might see like this composition and like how I want to frame a piece of art that I'm working on. But from there, it's a lot of trial and error. I know I did a recent painting and there was a ton of vegetation in it and I just couldn't get it to work. So every day I'd like go back to it, had to show up and try again. And eventually it came in just right.
I watched the kids around me and I'd watch them like get a little bit better than me and I'd be like, oh, I gotta keep up, you know? And that really pushed me too. But I don't know, it was just fun from the beginning too. And a little scary, I don't know, there's like electricity and stuff flying everywhere. There's a couple, I think 1 or 2 kids actually, they burnt a hole in their hoodie, so. But yeah, practice. That's all you need.
I guess there's a part of singing that I just do for fun and it's easygoing and whatever. And there's also a part of singing that's what we call in my house a sacrifice of praise. So I sing in my church choir, and I'll be honest, we have services at 8:45 in the morning, and it's not always fun to get up early and go sing in front of people or, you know, wear those ugly robes. Like, that's not my favorite part at all. But it takes work there, but it's an offering. It's not always about your convenience or what's always fun for you. It's about thanking God for the gift that He gave you and using it. I'd say stewarding it, being part of choirs, like using your gift.
Practice. It takes a lot of practice. I wouldn't be anywhere close to where I am now without countless teachers and people who have helped guide me technically and emotionally, and it's just time and practice, and I think it has to be fun. You have to enjoy it, and you have to feel connected to it with the heart. That's where I find my biggest inspiration. Is I feel the music. I enjoy it.
Well, if you want to get really sappy with it, where music fails or where words fail, music speaks is another one. Sometimes that worship for me, I can't always put words to it, or, theologically I can't think something out, but I just have this feeling, this expression that I want to give. And so melodies and music help me to give that offering. And of course, like hymns with words help, with remembering foundational truths and, but I think so much of music is what you feel, and it's almost inexplicable, which is why I find it to have like the greatest connection. When I'm singing is when I feel closest to God.
So basically it's something that I already know and I've already picked up, and pretty much I just have to like look and find opportunities for it, just like you came to me and asked about welding that bar lift or whatever, and just easy as that.
Well, I talked a little bit earlier about the calling to create something beautiful as Christians. I feel very strongly connected to that message, because I think it is inherently worship just to work hard at something and do your best at something with the simple goal of just reflecting God's creativity and creating something beautiful.
There's just a lot of ways in the everyday that I think we see God, and we don't always consider like, oh, my smile on that face was a form of worship, or the way I interacted with that person was a form of worship. But I think through art and through the way that we frame our everyday experiences, I think that's always a form of worship, and I think God is very well pleased with that.